Welcome to the Digital Download.
Today we're talking about a serious issue. We're seeing people across the country erupting in protest, responding to the decision in New York not to indict an officer who chokehold Eric Garner.
Right. And Efrem, I understand that you were actually in New York when the decision was made. So can you speak to that?
That's right. You see the video there on the screen unfolding. It was Wednesday when I landed in New York, and literally the grand jury made the decision. The mayor pretty quickly responded saying that he himself was personally disappointed that there was no indictment. And immediately following that, there were protests in the street. The good thing, they were peaceful, but they did caused the city to come to a halt in many areas. I was just trying to get from my hotel to another part of town and could not do it in a taxi cab. I had to literally say, just let me off here. I will walk to where I need to go. Lots of people upset. They're calling for change. We heard from Bishop Harry Jackson responding to this, and he's given some insight into why people are protesting and, more importantly, how the church needs to take the lead and help address the issues that they're talking about. Let's take a listen.
This last incident has really just brought all of our historic problems once again to the fore. But I want to warn your audience today that I don't think that blacks are saying all whites are racist and this is a sign of manifest racism in New York or in St. Louis, the Ferguson area. What they are basically saying is it's time for us to address this problem.
And Caleb, of course, you've been following what they've been saying on social media, and there is a lot to talk about.
There was a lot. From Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, they're all talking about this issue, particularly with the hashtag Black Lives Matter. Okay. Now, with Black Lives Matter, people are just basically sharing their heart about the situation. There's a lot of people protesting in regard to laying on the ground, similar to Garner's death, in a silent act of protest. And also, CBN News Facebook that's been blowing up as well. People are saying that these people are actually not innocent. Okay. They were committing crimes, so therefore, the officer might have been in the right to do these things, which can be a little controversial. We also have people saying that, in reality, the media are the ones that are blowing it up.
Okay. Well, the media is certainly part of telling the story, but I would caution, we know the grand jury decided in Ferguson, as well as this case, not to indict. But we have to ask ourselves this question. While these people are not innocent, is the punishment death? Is that really, is that really fit the crime? For whatever it is they were doing, should they have lost their lives as a result?
Right. I think the thing is mostly because we've had 3 tragedies occur, in a very short amount of time. This issue seems to be really polarizing. We're seeing people taking pictures of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and then comparing them to Trayvon Martin's, to the Ferguson, to the Garner, and making this a civil rights issue. In regard to the media continuing to blow it up, we know that Jason Ross, who's one of the writers for Tonight's Show with Jimmy Fallon, created a hashtag called Criming While White.
That's interesting.
Crime While White. Now, the point of this hashtag is to show a double standard about what's occurring. So you have people saying things like, oh, when I was 16, I hit an officer in the face, and the officer said, hey, don't do that again and send me on my way. A lot of different sides to this issue, so the question is, what do we do about it?
Absolutely. What do we do? And that is why we want to hear from you. Please keep it positive. We want you to weigh in at CBN News Garner Chat. Use that as the hashtag. We want to hear what you're thinking. Remember, we as the church, we as believers need to take the lead in solving the world's crises and bringing Christ to the situation. So let's keep it positive and do just that.
All right.
That's extremely important. Well, I'm Efrem Graham.
And I'm Caleb Kinchlow, and this is your Digital Download.